Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for London Club's Carnage. There's Toby smiling away, loving life, it would appear, because his team win now. And, I mean, Lawless never gave me no problem, Dan. Lawless, big up your damn self. And Dan Potts, it's big up to him as well. Do you know what I'm saying? My team, the only team I think, well, I mean, Lawless don't give a shit about Premier League anymore at this point, so it don't really matter. He don't care about Premier League, really don't care. Thursday's the focus, just like it was last week. But for me, I mean, I predicted this on the Big Six. I said Everton would win, just didn't get the score right. Chelsea right now are just causing me great aggro. Before we get into all that, Toby, how you doing, bro? Talk to us.
I'm all right, man. I'm all right.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
There's definitely more coming from him. Lawless, talk to me, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Bit annoyed from yesterday, but bigger, better things in the future. So yeah.
Okay. And Potts, bro, talk to me. How you feeling? Big win yesterday.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I love Lawless, man. Bigger and better things in the future. We shall see on Thursday night, my bro. So. I thought Toby might chip in again then now. Listen, I'm good, man. I always enjoy this show, man. And I think what's great is that each week just seems to be getting a little bit better for me. I started off pretty battered and bruised on this show by 3 horrendous defeats. And to my surprise, we've completely turned it around against 3 teams that, let's be honest, on paper are harder than Palace, Brighton and Southampton. So football's a funny game, Matisse. Very, very funny game.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to lead with Chelsea because, I mean, they're the ones that did an absolute madness. Usually we don't need to on this show, but I haven't even done a review for this game. It's the first time this season I didn't do a review for the match. Usually I do the review, win, lose or draw, but this time I just honestly just pushed it back. I was like, I'm not doing it. Maybe it will be out by the time that I put this out, but I'm not too sure about it, to be honest. Just couldn't be asked. I've been kind of sick of watching this team for a couple of weeks now, but that Everton game, it's just icing on the cake, really. We had a few Chelsea fans that were almost happy to see Frank Lampard take points before the match because, you know, we don't need to win. We're already comfortably in top 4. Let's do Super Frank a favour. I think their emotions changed when Everton fans started lighting fireworks and firecrackers at 2:30 in the morning outside the team hotel. And then they obviously had a big parade for their team as the team bus pulled in. They started to maybe get a little bit of their match-going spirit or their game day spirit together for Frank Lampard as he rolled in. I assure you, I don't think Frank Lampard lost any sleep at night after we lost another game. I'm pretty sure he's fine and happy. So yeah, we decided to put in an absolute stinker of a performance. Richarlison scores and just horrendous, really. I can't lie. 14 errors leading to goals now in the Premier League since the start of last season. Only Everton have had more errors leading to goal, 15. I feel like every single Chelsea game, I'm just repeating myself over and over again. Whether it's we have possession, we don't do nothing with it. We concede a goal, but it's our fault because we gave the ball away in a stupid area. People talking about why didn't Tuchel use Lukaku? Why? Listen, newsflash, Lukaku's been shit for months, so I don't really feel like it would have made a difference. The only thing I can think that he might be doing in why he's not rotating some of these players that he should have rotated is he might actually be trying to force them out. The likes of Lukaku, he wants to make it so clear that he's not part of the plans towards the end of the season that he almost forces a move, because the only way someone's going to pick up his wage and he's actually going to move is by force, not by being nice and kind to him and involving him in what we're doing, because he's been tragic as well, as much as Kai has. I mean, I know Toby wanted to say some words on Kai. Kai has been in poor form for at least a month now, I'd say. And usually you'd expect someone like this to be rotated out and put on the bench if he's not playing well. But obviously, like I said, with Lukaku, can't do that, maybe. So it is what it is. I mean, can't finish, can't shoot. I mean, Toby, what did you make of that game before I ramble on?
I didn't even get to watch it because obviously Spurs were playing at the same time. But I saw highlights at the end. But if there is a comment I have to make, and before you attack me and say agenda, the point you made on Kai Havertz about how he's been in poor form for a month, that's how I've seen Kai Havertz for the majority of his Chelsea career. And when I said this on Twitter, I got cooked. That is how I've seen Kai Havertz for the majority of his Chelsea career. Yeah, he will have his spells of good performances. You saw the game against Liverpool in the cup final, he was good. And maybe I'm being harsh by saying, I think as it stands now, when you look at the money that you spent versus what's been given, he's been a poor signing. Maybe he's not been a poor signing, but he hasn't been a good signing for Chelsea. I can't say that with my chest because this guy is playing poorly in more games than he's playing well in. And if he's not playing poorly, then he's just putting in bog standard, mediocre performances where he's not really impacting the game. And I'm not asking for goals week in, week out. I'm not asking for that. But I've been told that this guy is a really good technician. He's someone who knits play together. He's got a good eye for goal, and his link-up play is really good. When he's in the team, Chelsea play much better football. But again, I'm going to say it, probably 65% of this guy's games I've seen at Chelsea, he's not really making an impact. And last season, it was the same. Last season, he was poor for the majority of the campaign, but you allowed it because first season, COVID, injuries, etc., etc. And then when he hit that hot streak at the end of the season, it came out, oh, Kai Havertz is a second half of the season player. Oh, at Bayer Leverkusen, he'd always hit form second half of the season. I'm sorry, it's not good enough. And I would say the same thing for Jadon Sancho at Man United, and you know how much I like him. He's been shit for Man United this season. I'd say the same thing for Jack Grealish at Man City. Kai Havertz has not been good enough for Chelsea. And it's not just him. It's not just him. Your defense, Azpilicueta, I don't even know what on earth he was thinking for that goal. And I don't know. And this is why, I get it. The guys will probably mention, the guys here may mention Thomas Tuchel. The guys on the Big Six will certainly mention Thomas Tuchel. But I'm seeing ridiculous shit that I don't even think you can put on a manager. Some of the goals that I've seen Chelsea concede in recent weeks are actually laughable. And it's laughable only because of the fact that not too long ago, I heard that this was the best defense in the world. This was the best, the meanest, the strongest defense in Europe. And I'm seeing comical goals. Brentford, 3 losses in your last Premier League matches, only 2 wins against Southampton and West Ham. And the West Ham win, let's be real, you're fortunate to win. You're fortunate to win against a patched up West Ham side. You're playing really poorly. And everything we're seeing now just further emphasizes what the opposition fans were saying about Chelsea, that not that Chelsea aren't good, because we know Chelsea are a good side, but that your fans put your team on a pedestal that they're just not at. Your players are just not as good as you think you are. Your team is just not as good as you think it is. And I'm so glad that everyone is seeing it now. I'm so glad.
Can I just come in on that, Matisse? Because I've got to say, right, Toby's spitting facts there, bro, as far as I'm concerned. Me and Tobes don't always agree, but actually we're on the same wavelength with a lot. And I'm with him on this Kai Havertz malarkey. I've not seen it. I don't get the hype. I never understood why this guy was supposed to be taking Chelsea to the next level. Because of a Champions League final, I think it gave him a hell of a lot of credit in the bank, and it gave Chelsea the excuse to say, I told you so, when actually I've not seen consistent performances from this guy. And actually it goes for a lot of your players up top. Pulisic, Ziyech, obviously Kai Havertz. Lukaku has come in and not done the business. So I think although Chelsea needs to take a look at some of their forward players, I'm also with Toby as to ask, but when I was offline, I said it to you guys, what the hell is Azpilicueta doing there? He's an experienced head. He's the leader. He's the captain. There's no understanding of what is around him at that time. It's just poor play. And against Arsenal, I thought you were poor defensively. I see you against West Ham, obviously poor defensively. And again now. And it just makes me question what has gone wrong there, because a lot of people were using the excuse that politics off the pitch has caused some problems on it. I don't think you can use that excuse every week now, because this is becoming a bit of a nut. It's like Chelsea have just fallen off of a cliff. And I'm not going to hit this towards yourself, Matisse, because you and I haven't shared a platform long enough to know this. But I know a lot of Chelsea fans that were gassing this team up at the start of the season, saying they were going to walk this league, saying Man City can't win the title because they haven't got a striker again for the second time.
That's what we heard. They're just as good as Liverpool.
And to be honest with you, Tobes, I went for Liverpool this season. I said Liverpool would win the league. Loads of people laughed at me. Loads of Chelsea fans laughing in my faces, telling me that Liverpool are completely done and that Chelsea are so ahead of them. And I could not understand why. And they couldn't seem to back it up other than we've now got Lukaku. Well, Lukaku was at United and didn't win them a title. And let's be honest, he's been in the Premier League and has done very, very well. But I don't see him as an elite striker, Lukaku. I never have. I always thought he was a decent player. I never thought Lukaku was enough to take you to the next level. I don't look at the squad and think it's good enough in comparison to Liverpool and Man City's. I put Chelsea as coming third this season, and I was laughed at because they were the European champions. But now I'm starting to see what's actually going to happen with them like long term now, Matisse, because it must be worrying for you as a fan, bro. Like, this is not a good time for you.
No. It looks like there's complacency in the team. That's what it looked like to me, because it wasn't until you went a goal down you actually started playing and started trying to attack. Like, really, that's like you went a goal down, creating chances, testing Pickford. I don't think you had a shot on target until like mid-second half. You know what I mean? It was just like they was pressing, they was running, you were sort of passing it around, trying to find a route in, and just the players like Rudiger as well. Rudiger was terrible. No one's talked about that guy. He was one of your worst players yesterday.
Yeah,
and I think maybe he's got his mind on Real Madrid and all of these links. But having a player that important and that good, like having a bad day, you know what I mean? You can't afford that. And I was looking at the bench, and there's not like the players that you can be confident to come on really and change it, like Lukaku and Ziyech and that. Like, you can't be confident. Werner, again, he was terrible. There's no real threat up front. That's the problem. If you've got mistakes at the back and you haven't got a killer up front, where does that leave you? It just leaves you this
no man's land.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's mad. Like, the way this team's been assembled, like, it needs some serious overhauling. Not Man United level.
Serious. If
you not think
if it could be Man United level overhaul, I would honestly take it. Like, when you look at, you spoke about how this team's been put together. Liverpool currently in their squad, 24 of those players are Klopp, 2 are Rodgers, and 1 is Dalglish. I went through this last night. Manchester City squad, 19 of their players is Pep, 2 is Pellegrini. Chelsea squad, 1 is Di Matteo, 3 Tuchel, 3 Mourinho, 4 Sarri, 5 Conte, 9 Lampard. This is a squad that, you know, when you put it all together, has been finishing round about on this number of points for the last 5 years. I put up a tweet on it after the game because, like I said, I just couldn't even be asked to even do the review, which is really unlike me. But I feel like I'm just repeating myself with this team. But 5th, and this is, I mean, we was expecting this to change, but, you know, 70 points in 2018, 72 points in 2019, 66 points in 2020, 67 points in 2021. This season, 2022, 66 points. This squad, like the core of it, in terms of the top senior players, it feels like they've kind of peaked in this kind of points range. They can't seem to go above it. Sorry, Dan, what was you going to say, bro?
No, I was just going to comment on the recruitment, and you kind of touched on it before me. I was going to bring it up, so it's good timing. But I honestly believe the only consistent performer for Chelsea in the attacking positions is Mason Mount. Like, everybody else seems to have been hit and miss.
He's not even consistent, bro. He's not consistent. I've been saying
exactly, and you might be right.
His statistics look great, but he's been inconsistent this year.
He's been very inconsistent.
And you might be right. And that's me looking over a 2-year period of when players have come in at Chelsea, because most of those players have had not just this season before as well. So I look at it and think there's something wrong there, and the recruitment has been poor. So Arsenal's recruitment, Man United's recruitment, and to be fair, Tottenham's recruitment over the last 3 to 5 years has been really questionable, like really poor at times. Some have been okay, some have worked, some have just been disastrous, yeah. And Tobs would agree with that as well for Spurs and for Arsenal and for United. But Chelsea need to be brought into that mix as well, because some of those players, I think, bro, that have come in, they've just not hit the ground running. They're still trying now. They've been a couple of years away. And when you read out that list now, 9 of those was Lampard's. That just shows that, you know, he was given, I know he had a transfer embargo, but he was basically given, look, sign who you want now that we've had a year off, and it's not worked for you. So I do think there are some problems. I do think defensively it looks as if those players, their heads are in the sky. Christensen, Rudiger, Azpilicueta all look like they're off, like going. Like, maybe you need that. Maybe you might need to start again with some of those heads. I don't know. I don't watch them week in, week out. But Chelsea just look a real mess at the moment, and it is surprising to me. Listen, I expected them not to win the league, but I didn't expect to crumble at the end of the season. Like, let's not get too negative with it, for the pure fact that you could still get into a season where you come third, you're the next best after Liverpool and City, you win the FA Cup, and then you say, do you know what, we're disappointed about the Real Madrid performance, but it's Real Madrid, they can do that. Actually, it's not a bad season. At the moment, I don't even know where to go with this Chelsea side. They just look like they've just fallen off a cliff, like I say.
They'll finish third.
I agree. I
I'll
think
be
they will too.
surprised if they beat Liverpool. Though.
They're
That's gonna be...
the third best. Chelsea, for me, Chelsea are the third best team in England. They are. They're better than Arsenal. They're better.
Yeah,
than
I
Tottenham.
agree with that.
They
I
are.
agree with that.
But it's just that gap between Liverpool and City. And it's funny because on the Big Six, I remember before the season started, we were doing our predictions, and I predicted Chelsea to finish third, but weirdly, I predicted Liverpool. I predicted Liverpool to finish fourth, Man United to finish second, because I didn't know how Van Dijk would react, and I thought this is a team that looks like they were crippled with a crazy amount of injuries last year. I don't really know how they'll react this year. But one thing I've always maintained to Matisse and even to my friend, one of my friends, Kevin, is that Liverpool, when they're fully fit and on song, their first 11, I think they've probably got the best first 11 in the league, in my opinion. Like Man City have the best squad in terms of names.
In
quality.
Europe, mate, I think Liverpool.
When you look at man for man quality, when you put Liverpool's strongest 11 together, I think they got the best XI in the league. And I said, if you can keep the core of that team fit for 80% of the season, there's no chance. There's no chance Chelsea are going to go toe to toe with them. So it's just funny seeing the Chelsea heel turn. It's delicious to see. And I must admit as well, like, I don't want to be disingenuous. There are players in Chelsea that have actually played really well this season. I know Rudiger. I heard obviously he didn't play well against Everton, but Rudiger's actually been really, really, really good for Chelsea this season. Thiago Silva's been really, really good for Chelsea this season. I just think now players are the reliable players are sort of letting their standards drop a little bit, and the inconsistent players are showing why they're inconsistent.
I just think we come towards the end of the season now. Much like I don't care about the Premier League season anymore. I don't feel like they do anyway as well.
Why not, bro?
Because I just don't care, bro. Like the way we're playing, the standard of football we're playing is peak. It's disgusting to watch. I can't watch our games.
Really?
I'm more excited.
It's disgusting, Chelsea.
I'm more excited.
Wow.
I'm more excited for Real Madrid versus Man City than I have for the last two Chelsea games. I wasn't excited for Man United versus Chelsea. I'm not excited for Everton versus Chelsea. I'm not excited for the next one. I just want the season to end.
I can see why it would be frustrating to watch from a Chelsea fan watching this game and watching when we played you guys. I could see why you'd be tired of seeing that. It's definitely frustrating. But I want to ask you a question because I was talking to a Chelsea fan yesterday, and he said if this new guy takes over, this English guy or something who owns whatever team it is in America, the main one they're all talking about buying Chelsea, that apparently that he believes in giving the coach, even the manager, say on the transfers, and that's what he's planning to do. So Marina will probably get sacked, and Tuchel will have say on all the transfers, and he'll get to choose his players. Do you think that will solve your problems, and that's the way forward?
I don't know if that's all true, but I don't think that's the way forward. No, I think we need to get a sporting director. I don't like it when people just give the manager all the responsibility on transfers because they're not scouts. They're not sporting directors. Their job is not to watch talent around the world in different continents and find the profiles to fit their system. Their job is to coach, to manage the team. So I would.
Do you think they should get final say though? Like.
100% I think it should be. I think they should be involved in the process in terms of final say. But I think I would like a Campos. I've been banging on about Campos for years. What he done about in the Monaco team, what he's done with making that Lille team as well. Michael Edwards is not available. Chelsea fans need to stop talking about Michael Edwards. I've said it so many times. I've spoken to Grizz, spoken to every Liverpool fan, Alex, everyone.
Is Campos still at Lille? Or is he
I'm not sure where Campos is right now, actually. He might, is he? Let me see. But I know.
Would you sack Marina, by the way? Do you think she should be sacked? Would you get rid of her?
I think when it comes to Marina, it all depends on the role because she is of use she is of use in certain areas in terms of negotiating contracts, negotiating commercial.
Ain't she just a negotiator?
Yeah, she's a
the players.
Yeah, but she needs to be given. She needs to be given a very specific role because even the wage structure, I'm not understanding how she negotiated Werner's contract at 270k a week when he was on 120 at Leipzig. Yeah, Werner's on 270k a week. I don't understand.
Yeah, I know this.
I don't know why Chilwell's on 190k a week when he probably wasn't even on 100 at Leicester. So I'm very confused about the wage bill and why it's as high as it is. So that's part of her job. So that confuses me. But yeah, it will be up to them how they see fit in using her. But they need to bring in a sporting director. We've been linked with Paul Mitchell, who's also been linked with Man United. He was at Southampton for a period. I think he was at Tottenham as well with Poch at a period as well.
Yep, he was.
He helped bring in Toby Alderweireld, Ali as well. So yeah, I just want a complete revamp a little bit, to be honest. Like I said, when I mentioned the amount of players from different managers, just sick of the lack of continuity in the squad in terms of playing style and just the way we approach games. There's so many players that just belong to different systems, similar to Man United when Ragnick came in, and I was like, as much as Ragnick will improve them from a coaching aspect, Man United just have too many different profiles. And this is maybe what happens when you give, because I think Potts mentioned it, I think this is what happens when you maybe give one manager, out of all the managers I listed, the most inexperienced one is the one that got 9 players in Lampard. And Oli at Man United, the most inexperienced one out of Van Gaal, Mourinho, he got the most players as well. And now the squad's on his side.
It's also what happens when you sack managers as well. When you actually sack this many managers, you're going to get this. So that's why Chelsea United.
Oli didn't get more managers more players than Jose, did he? Did he?
Yeah,
I think so.
But the thing is, if you're as a club, right, you have an identity and an ethos of how you want to play, and like Matisse was saying, you have that sporting director who comes in and they're the one who sort of comes up with the idea of, okay, say we want to play this sort of way, this sort of system. Then you hire the managers that play that way. So then you sign the players that fit that system, fit that style and identity of how you want to play. So if you do sack that manager, you look at the similar profile of manager who's going to come in again and fit that style. So if it comes from the top and there's that cohesion, no matter if you sack managers or not, as long as you can find a manager that's going to fit those players, you won't have to keep having these transitional periods where you have to get these players out and get their sort of players in that fits that. And then that kind of takes a while. Like if that can come in, then I think that's definitely the way forward.
Spot on.
Either way, there's no excuse to lose. I know Everton.
No, there isn't. No, I'm just going into the deeper issues.
There's no excuse to
subsurface shit is blowing the hell out of me.
There's no excuse. I'm sorry.
The players that Oli brought at Man United is Maguire, Varane, Dalot, Telles, Wan-Bissaka. There's quite a few youngsters in that squad as well.
Van der Beek,
yeah. Also,
Dan James.
I think Fred as well. Dan James is gone now. Bruno Fernandes. I think Scott McTominay must have come through under him. No,
he was academy.
Ronaldo. Yeah, Ronaldo.
That's more than Jose. That's more than Jose.
You mentioned Varane?
Varane, Sancho, Ronaldo. It's I think it's more than Jose. I think he would have.
Yeah.
Jose wasn't really backed fully by Man United. Really, he didn't get the full back. He didn't get a lot of the players that he wanted. I remember. I think he did. I remember he wanted Vertonghen, didn't he? Or Alderweireld.
Yeah, that was in the last season. But for the first 2 seasons, I think they gave him every player he wanted.
He got Pogba, Lukaku, Lindelof.
Yeah.
Did he sign Lukaku?
Yeah, he signed Lukaku. Yeah.
Lukaku, Ibrahimovic, Lukaku, Pogba.
Mkhitaryan, yeah.
Alexis Sanchez under him as well.
Sanchez as well.
Yeah, Sanchez. He got big players, to be fair to him.
It was the defense. I think he didn't get to sort out. That was the issue, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah. But he still brought in Lindelof as well for that defense.
Yeah, Lindelof and Bailly, wasn't it?
But in terms of Mourinho, so he got a lot of players, but most of his players are probably gone by now, like Schweinsteiger and players like that as well. So Schneiderlin. The bulk of this squad is Ollie's squad, and then there's a few from Ferguson. There's a few from just coming from the youth team as well. And then
that's insane. Players from Ferguson still.
Yeah, they're still De Gea,
Phil Jones.
Luke Shaw came in under who? I'm not even sure. No, it wouldn't.
He came in under David
Moyes.
Yeah, Moyes, so some Moyes players. Yeah, so there's some brothers that have been there for a long ass time. So yeah, it's an absolute madness. But I mean, who do we go on to next? Because both of you guys picked up your points. Tottenham put the pressure on Arsenal. Arsenal responded. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really. I guess we should start with Arsenal because they played West Ham. But
yeah, let's start with Arsenal.
I'm not really surprised Arsenal. I'm not really surprised Arsenal won that game because West Ham West Ham not focusing on. It's perfect time to play West Ham is in between Europa League fixtures. Everybody knows that their record after Europa League fixtures is really, really, really poor. And I feel like they focused on that, and Arsenal focused on the league. But I mean, Potts, how are you feeling about the performance and the win? I mean, the performance don't really mean too much anymore, does it? At this point,
results.
Nah, listen, it was about 3 points, man, and I think even Mikel Arteta said we won ugly, and that was where it was. That first half was horrible from both sides. It was just a horrible game of football, man, and it was only really even when the goal went in, I said to my dad, "Let's just try and keep this till half time." Of course, we couldn't do that. Really surprised by West Ham's first team. I don't know what Lawless thought of it, but I personally was well surprised that he dropped Antonio as opposed to Bowen and Rice. I expected both of those to only play bit parts, if at all, if I'm honest with you. So it wasn't a shocking West Ham's lineup. I think people like to say that because Arsenal won. They want to say, of course they did, because West Ham had their kids out. I didn't see any kids. I saw Cresswell playing at centre-back, and that was it. The rest of the team was pretty half-decent, I would say. They had a couple of players missing. Souček wasn't in the lineup. Obviously, Noble come in and thought actually did all right. But actually, when you look at the performance as a whole, it wasn't a great game of football for a neutral. You could sit there and say it was boring. It was not great. But the second half, I thought we picked it up, and I don't think West Ham did. They looked a bit tired. Maybe Thursday night was on their minds, and also a bit of a hangover from the Thursday night emotions. But I think we created a lot more. I have to big up a couple of players from Arsenal. Rob Holding came in last minute. Didn't expect him to come in because Ben White has got a tight hamstring. I thought he was brilliant. He got man of the match. Thought he was excellent. Scored a good goal. Got away with a bit of a Maradona situation at one stage as well for the second goal. But do you know what? I think we did deserve the win. Eddie Nketiah as well. I know he missed the sitter and he's not clinical enough. And he's never going to... He did, and he deserves the plaudits for his performances because he was holding the ball up well.
At the end of it, mate. He deserved the slap.
We nearly got one. He nearly got a slap. Rice was proper giving it to him. So I did think it was a performance that we can be proud of in terms of the 3 points, but it's not a performance we can be proud of technically or quality-wise. We didn't play well, in my opinion. I thought our left-hand side was pretty trash, if I'm honest. Tavares had another poor game. Gabriel, I know he scored, but he wasn't great. Granit Xhaka had a terrible first half and a better second half.
Gabriel was all right, you know. I thought he played well.
Yeah, Gabriel and Tavares together on that left, it's not working for me, man. Tierney's massively, massively missed.
You know who I thought was cheap? You know who I thought was cheeks? I can't lie, and I like him. Martinelli was awful, bro.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Jesus
He
Christ.
He stunk the place out. He had a moment of brilliance, obviously, with that ball. That was it. Everything else was poor that he did. Really quiet game. Surprised he lasted that this long. Don't understand why we didn't see some of the subs. I thought it would have been a good opportunity to bring on Pepe, Smith Rowe earlier than they did. Thought El Neni was great again. Somebody was making jokes about him at the moment. He had rice in his pocket. I didn't realise he'd eaten rice in his fasting or whatever it was. Hilarious. That was quite good. Quite enjoyed that. He was. I must big him up the last 3 games actually, because he's been a player, El Neni, that I do kind of respect for the pure fact that he's never held his hands up and tried to be a Steven Gerrard. He's never told us that he's a Patrick Vieira. He's told us, listen, I'm 7 million. I'll come in and I'll do a job and I'll get a 7 or 8 out of 10. And that is what he's been like for 5-6 years. I don't like the guys in terms of being an overwhelmed, but to see him in the side. But when he comes in, he does a great job, and I think he deserves a lot of credits, to be honest with you. And I think he's been great in the last couple of games. But as for the performance and the 3 points, I expected it. I expected Tottenham to win. Didn't see the Tottenham game because obviously I was at the Arsenal game. But what I will say, from what I'm told, Leicester made like 7 or 8 changes. So I was like, well, they're definitely going to win. So that was an obvious one. When I saw West Ham's lineup, I thought, here we go. West Ham haven't bloody rested players like I thought. So I was really happy to get 3 points, man. I thought it was massive. And it's going to be a huge last few games. Like, it's going to be mental. This next weekend is going to be massive. Everyone's always wanting to be looking forward towards the North London derby. Let's not get there yet. They've got to go to Anfield. They've got to win. We've got to beat Leeds at home. That could be a massive weekend for Arsenal Football Club.
That it will, because Leeds are back in the relegation fight. I know people kind of forgot about them. It was Burnley versus Everton for a while, but then as we saw Burnley get 2 late goals, and obviously now Everton have beaten Chelsea, Leeds are right back down there, and they need points, and we have to play them, I think. So you have them next, and then they have us at Ellen Road. So they desperately need points. So they're going to be a very difficult team to come up against. And obviously Tottenham away to Liverpool is no joke. But Toby, how are you sizing up your chances now?
I wanted to hear what.
Oh, of course, yeah,
Lawless
actually,
has
yeah.
to do.
But
West Ham played,
I already know what he's gonna say. He don't give a shit.
no, I want to hear what he has to say.
Go on, bro.
No, all right. Before I get into the controversies of the game, I'll point out with West Ham, what frustrated me with us again, it's our movement off the ball was just too slow in that game. You know, trying to penetrate the opposition, and Arsenal under Arteta, they're a lot better sort of defensively all the time, a lot good at soaking up that pressure, and we just don't break fast enough. Too much stop, look for the pass, move the ball, and it's just every time Arsenal were able to get back, hold their shape, and just wait. And that's what really pissed me off about our performance yesterday. I'd never thought I would say this, but Dawson was a huge loss. I said this, that if we have Dawson, we don't concede them 2 goals, because Dawson is so good at defending set pieces, and our defending for those set pieces was shocking. Handball notwithstanding. You know, it was poor. Fabianski, who's been a really good keeper for us. I think he needs to do better for that second goal near post and all of that business. But yeah, I think it's one of those as well. You could sort of see where the players have an eye to Thursday. There's a lot of time where you look at, they're not necessarily busting a gut to run for certain things, and you know, trying to not get injured at the same time. But speaking of trying to not get injured, that was obviously brings us to Jared Bowen. A situation, an issue that drove me crazy. I lost my shit when I see it. Ramsdale flies in, studs up with a nice ball over the top. Bowen gets it, and you're like, geez, oh, he's through here. He's through. Here comes this clown, Ramsdale, flying in, studs up knee high at Bowen. Bowen sees this oaf flying into him and thinking, shit, I've got a semi-final to play here. I better get out the fucking way. And all of a sudden, it's like, I'm there, I'm going, oh, right, send him off. Send him off now. I'm screaming at it, say off. And I see a yellow card, and I'm like, what? Only a yellow? I'm like sitting there going, only a yellow card? Are you crazy? Next thing I see is Bowen that's been booked for diving. Are you mad? Like, this is the thing, and I've seen this a lot on Twitter. People go, oh, he admitted he dived. Yeah, no, he admitted he dived out the way so he would not get injured. The still Ramsdale was reckless, out of control, flies in at him. What is he supposed to do? Stand there, get his ankle broke? What do they expect of him? What he's done, Ramsdale, is he flies in recklessly, and
I hate that guy, man.
Yeah, honestly, he's the worst. He's one of these fist pumps. He thinks he's the shit. Like, honestly. But like, so the thing is, we see Xhaka. When Xhaka got sent off against Man City, yeah. Remember that there was no contact. This is the thing about contact. No contact, but Xhaka is reckless and out of control, has these studs up. Xhaka gets a red card against Man City.
That was a harsh red card, though, some would say.
What's that?
That was a harsh red card, though, some would say.
Okay, but even if you say, okay, it should have been a yellow, or just have in, and then they get the free kick, and that is the free kick that leads to the goal, because that free kick ends up, obviously, goes to the corner. Ends up as a corner, and then that's where they get their set piece from.
It was a rush. It was a rush to the head from Ramsdale. It was nuts, and he's getting moments like that. But this is why I wouldn't have played Jared Bowen, bro. This is why I wouldn't be playing Jared Bowen, bro, because that could have been the end of him, the end of good night. See you later. So that is the sort of thing that you try to rest your best players for on Thursday night. It didn't work out for him in the end. I agree. He did say he dived, but I agree with you. He had to dive because otherwise he was getting taken out, could have been injured. I thought it was a madness decision from Ramsdale. Absolute madness. And, you know, Ramsdale at the moment for me is on the verge of turning into a Wojciech Szczesny. You know, when Szczesny got to his head, he was like this cocky guy who thought he was all good. That's what I don't want to see from Aaron Ramsdale. So I'm with you, Lawless. I thought it was madness. When it happened, I was like, done. This guy's going off. Like, you can't do that. And luckily, he didn't touch him. So that's the only thing that saved it. Basically, Jared Bowen has prevented him from getting sent off. That's the way it is. The referee has seen that Jared Bowen has basically done the wrong thing / right thing for his career by jumping out of the way, and that saved Ramsdale's skin. I
think you can't really blame the referee in that situation, because unfortunately for Bowen, but unfortunately for West Ham, Ramsdale didn't touch him. So as crazy as that challenge was,
by the letter of the law, you don't have to touch them. You don't actually. They don't have to be contact. If you're going into a tackle dangerously, out of control, potential to cause harm, then as the letter of law, it's an indirect free kick.
It's a fair point. I think it was Paul Scholes, wasn't it? Paul Scholes who got sent off a couple years back when he tried to swing for Jabi Alonso and he missed. Was it Alonso? I can't remember who. He tried to swing for someone and he missed him and he got sent off. That you actually make a really good point. It's a horrible challenge from Ramsdale. Arsenal fans, most Arsenal fans don't think it and say, "Oh yeah, it is a dive," but it's a terrible challenge from Ramsdale. Like studs up, like he's no chance of him getting the ball. He was going to inflict pain on that player.
It's and this diving thing, right?
It's a fair one to debate. I can't even lie. It's a fair one to debate. Let me not lie.
How many times, even if people think, oh yeah, it was a dive and he's trying to cheat, which is bullshit. But even if you think that, look how many times we see people dive in the Premier League, and what does the ref do? Oh, get up, get up. How many bookings do we actually see for diving? It's ridiculous. Like he never, he could have just looked at Bowen if he thought it was a dive and just gone, all right, just get up, you're fine, he ain't touched you, and then just carry on with the game. But he's gone and made a meal out of it. The ref decided to book him and make an example of him, and now he's got this on his name that he's a diver. But like I said, he's not sitting there trying to cheat and thinking, because Moyes actively tells our players don't dive. Our players are probably too honest at times. But it's just a fact of if he don't dive, his ankle gets shredded and he's got a semi-final. Honestly, that just really pissed me off, man. And this is why I just fucking hate playing Arsenal, because there's always these controversies. You know what I mean? Soufal gets sent off against Lacazette at the home game when he actually gets the ball and goes through Lacazette, but gets the ball, but he gets sent off. We come round to here now. It's just tiresome, man. It's just tiresome. And look, yeah, we have got Thursday to deal with, but that's a chance for us to gain points on Man United and try and get in that top 6, which we do want, just in case we can't put all of our eggs in.
I just saw the Scholes Alonso thing as well. That was hilarious.
So you see it, yeah. And we got sent off for that. But I actually hear where Lawless is coming from. But let's actually talk about the game, because in the game, I think Arsenal were good value for 3 points. I don't think they played well, but I think they capitalized on their set pieces, and more importantly, they shut out West Ham. It was a really well taken goal from Bowen in the first half, but second half, West Ham came out. Arsenal just shut out everything, literally. And
because once they went 2-0 up, they could do that. But
that's the point I'm making. I don't think West Ham did enough to disrupt Arsenal's shape. And I think it's a combination of Arsenal defending well, and it's a combination of West Ham just running out of ideas. So case in point.
That's our kryptonite, man.
Case in point, in the first half, when there was no Antonio in the box, I saw you chucking hella crosses. Into the box to nobody. Holding and Gabriel just heading all the balls away. And then in the second half, when you bring on that meathead, Souček and Antonio, you're thinking, okay, here we go. They've come on the pitch, 2 big dossers. The ball's going to come into the box by the plenty. But Arsenal crowded out both the left-hand side and the right-hand side. Every single time the ball switched to Ryan Fredericks, there's 2 or 3 men on him. Every single time the ball switched to Kufal, there's 2 or 3 men on him. I think Arsenal did really well to sort of block the number of crosses you lot could put into the box in the second half. And I think once they stopped that, they knew you couldn't play through them centrally. You tried to play through the midfield, it didn't work because you couldn't get through them. So I think unfortunately Arsenal were good value for their 3 points. If we're talking about the footballing matters, it's away from the controversy. Arsenal were good value for 3 points. It wasn't a vintage win, but it was a win that you'd probably say they deserved. And it's annoying because I thought you lot could try and sneak a point.
Yeah, no, the thing is, that was what I see in that second half just highlighted the failure of our past transfer windows, man. It just really, because we've got nothing to come off the bench and break teams down that do want to sit back and soak up the pressure. And that's been
January affected you, man.
January, even August. I look at August now. We've got Vlasic, £25 million, cannot get into this side. He just can't. Krau I don't know what that geezer's been doing. Like, he's just, you know what I mean? He's just having a holiday in London. That's it. Like, you know what I mean? A 10-month holiday in London. Like, we've made these signings and we haven't bought any players that can come in and change the game. Antonio comes on, does absolutely nothing. Benrahma, we took him off and it was worse. At least with Benrahma, he was actually, you know what I mean, having a battle with Tomiyasu. You know what I mean? There was times where he got the better of Tomiyasu. There was times Tomiyasu got the better of him, but he was giving him some trouble. And there was the point where I'm trying to think if it was Holding or who sort of was coming over to help Tomiyasu double up on Benrahma at times. There was times where he was doing something. He was trying to create, trying to take on.
He was the only one. Him and Bowen were the only ones though.
Yeah, and you're not going to start Benrahma on Thursday. I know he's not starting Benrahma on Thursday. So leave him on for the 90 minutes. Take Fornals. Fornals was awful that day. Fornals was awful.
Just poor.
This is the thing when you don't go into the January transfer market and add a couple names, you don't have the depth. So now you're rotating, and there's going to be some drop-offs from certain players like Fornals, etc. Because maybe they've played. I don't know. Has Fornals played a lot of maybe too many games? You think?
Yeah, he has played. He has played a lot. He's one of the first names on the team sheet. It's just frustrating. But I look to now the summer. No excuses. This summer has to be a 10 out of 10. I'm tired of it. We have to go in and get exactly what we need. We know what we need. You've got time now. Prepare, because I don't want to go into another season.
What do you want to see, Lawless? Like, what do you want to see?
I want to see a real striker. A real striker. An actual, no wingers converted into strikers. I want to see a striker.
Like who? Like, realistically, who would you go for?
Not fucking Eddie Nketiah, I tell you that. Sometimes we've been linked with that guy, and he can do one. It's one of those.
I think he's better. You know what? Let me not lie.
What about Divock Origi?
Nketiah is better than Nketiah. I don't think he's good enough for Arsenal. Fair enough, but I think he is. And I will say this: like, I know.
Are you about to say he's ready for West Ham level? But Tammy,
no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I think he's better than. I think he is better than people give him credit for. Because I just thought, like, you know what? Outside of the box, this guy is useless. But he's shown. Maybe I'm clutching at straws here, but he's shown that there's a bit more to his game than just like being a fox in the box.
No, you're right, but
I think yeah, but what the point I'm making is he's leaving on a free transfer in the summer, most likely. What I'm saying is, whereas before I thought maybe he could get the best he could do is like them 16th, 17th, 18th place sides in the Premier League and the Championship. I think he could get a move to a few more Premier League sides. Like again, Brighton, the same one. I think I think he can get a move to a Premier League side. I think he could.
Yeah, well, I hope he does that and gets relegated.
Would you go for Origi at Liverpool?
No, I'll take this is the thing. I take Origi and we need two strikers, but not like
he's going into Milan.
Yeah,
is he?
Yeah, I keep mentioning him, and then they keep telling me he's going to Milan.
Well, we need
Ivan Toney, Lawless. Would you go for him?
Do you know what, that guy?
That's your standard.
He doesn't seem like he'd be good for the locker, for the dressing room. You know,
because of all the fuck.
Yeah, like imagine he comes with, like, he already thinks he's a superstar, and he's playing for Brentford, and thinks he's above that. Like, you want someone who's going to come in with a bit of humility. And he scored a lot of penalties. A lot of his goals have been penalties this season. I think that's gone under the radar. But I think what we need to do is scout Europe, right? For the player, for a striker that is going to fit the profile of the way we want to play, and then get a plan B. And that plan B, and hardly anyone agrees with me, but I said as a plan B on the bench, I would take Workhorse from Burnley. Because it's
you take who, sorry?
Weghorst at Burnley. Yeah,
he's like a better Andy Carroll who can actually play with the ball to his feet. But I
don't think that's a bad shout.
It's not a bad shout.
It's not a bad shout. Weghorst looks. He's lacked the goals, but he looks like he can give you the hybrid of what you need. He looks like he can help you play a direct game, and if you actually want to play football, play on the ground, he looks like he's got the feet about him. But then I would apply the same context to Ivan Toney, because I think Ivan Toney. Listen, I don't rate. You can ask any of the guys at AFTV. I don't really rate Ivan Toney highly, but I think for West Ham, he could offer you a mix of both as well. Like, he's got okay link up, and he has.
Yeah,
I love that, man. That is that a cheap dig or what? That is class.
Listen,
I don't
I'm not-
rate him, but he'll be good at West Ham, but I don't rate him.
That's your Harry Kane replacement, Tobes.
If you say so. All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is this. Yeah, you lot haven't had a striker. You ain't had a striker that can get you near 15 Premier League goals in how long?
Oh God.
I can't even 15 years probably.
Exactly. So these
Really that long?
So some of these strikers we're naming will get you double figures in the league. Start off there and then build from there.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I'm tired of like 8 goal a season strikers and all this bullshit. I want my 15 to 20. We're due it, man.
I said Tammy Abraham. They all laughed at me on this show. You're not laughing now, are you?
I wanted him at Arsenal, bro.
Tammy, listen,
he's a good player.
Tammy will score goals at West Ham. But the problem was the point wasn't that Tammy wasn't good enough for West Ham. It's will Tammy be able to play the way West Ham need him to play when they want to go direct? Because we know West Ham, they've tried at times to be a team that plays football on the ground, but we know they're a very direct side. And will Tammy be able to do that thing where Antonio does, where he can occupy 2-3 players at once and hold up the ball and bring others into play? Those are the weaknesses of Tammy Abraham's game, not the goal scoring. Because we know goal scoring.
The thing is, if you've already got Antonio doing that, my thing was just at least get another option who's different to him. So then you've got for the season, you've got Abraham and Antonio. I don't think Antonio needs to be changed to now winger again. I think Antonio's still got his part to play as a West Ham striker. Just think you need another body because Antonio this season's had to play way too many games. Way too many games.
Man. Any striker would have been preferable. I'd have had Lucas Perez back. You know what I mean? At this rate, like anything would have been preferable to just having Antonio every week, 90 minutes, week in, week out.
How did you go 2 successive windows and not address that? It's like it's so obvious that you need another player up there. They expecting
30 million on Vlasic, who doesn't even get a kick. Doesn't even get a kick.
Yeah, we sold Haller last January, 2021. Yeah. For what did we sell him for? 25 mil? Didn't sign in one. No. We're gonna wait till the summer to replace Haller because it's January window is difficult. Blah blah blah. Summer comes, no striker. Oh no, but we got the January transfer window, so Antonio will be fine until then. January comes, no striker. Oh, it's January. We want to wait till the summer because January is difficult, so we're gonna find our striker. It's the same thing over. We might as well have kept Haller. We might as well have. 25 mil, what? And if he comes in and scores like 7 goals for us this season, 8 goals for us, and gives Antonio some rest, I don't see the problem with that. People act like he weren't banging goals for us. He was still scoring, just not to the level of his price tag.
Haller.
Yeah.
Haller, you lot tried to turn Haller into some battering ram, which he wasn't. Which is why I was saying what I was saying about Tammy Abraham. Like you tried to make Haller into this Antonio type player that you just play the ball long term and he flicks on headers and stuff. That's not his game. He's a very technical player. Like I say,
we just spam long balls. That ain't even the case.
No, I'm not saying you spam long balls all the time, but I'm saying the way you played with Haller, it didn't suit him. It didn't suit him because you tried to play a really direct game with a guy who's all about combination play and working well with players around him. You're trying to isolate this guy with 3 man and say, okay, you keep the ball, hold up the ball for us. It's not going to work. I literally, the reason why I'm saying this because I vividly remember when we played you, Jose Mourinho's first game. You did when you were fighting for relegation. You did the exact same thing with Haller. You kept trying to play long, kept trying to feed him long balls, and just breaking down. It's not his game. It's not his MO. And that's the point. That's literally the point I'm making with Tammy Abraham. He'll get goals. Tammy will get goals, but don't try and expect Tammy Abraham to be this battering ram. It's not going to be like that.
How do West Ham go about changing that though, or is that just the way West Ham played, Dan? Or can they
change the way you play?
Change the way they play.
Change the way you play. If you're gonna, if I say this as if it's simple. If you get a striker like Tammy Abraham, maybe you can ask him to try and improve those aspects of his game. It's probably going to have to be that, really and truly. But what I'm saying is, if West Ham are trying to go for these zestier strikers, they're not going to work in your current system. It's the same with Chicharito. Chicharito wasn't good for West Ham, but did he fit West Ham? Look at the type of striker he is. Are you really going to tell me that West Ham are playing to this guy's strengths?
I remember playing Stevenage away, and Moyes had him as a target, man. This was Moyes' first in. Long balls to Chicharito, man. Oh my god, that's bringing back nightmares.
The thing is,
But
though,
yeah,
Lawless,
like,
if you don't get a striker in this summer, man, there's not like you just said, Weghorst, even like Mitrovic, somebody like that's going to be a target man. Like, if you don't get that, I don't understand. There can't be no excuses. Like West Ham, it's clear West Ham need that, and you have done for a while. Like if you want to move forward, you need to get this guy in, man.
100.
yeah, big time.
There are strikers like that can play the way West Ham, like we've mentioned them. There are strikers out there that can play the way West Ham want to play and can still offer a bit more on the ball. Simple.
Yeah, the thing is, Antonio is not this target man. We don't play straight up target man football like we had with Andy Carroll. Antonio, like we need a player that can still play on the shoulder of the last man, go onto through balls, has some pace about him, some strength. Yeah, like that profile of player, not necessarily a big lump who's gonna hold up the ball and knock down to someone else. Like, but you can thread in some through balls to them. They can, you know, I mean, they've got a bit of pace. They can run defenders ragged. We need pace in our team badly. That's what I see yesterday. Is just a severe lack of pace. It's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating.
Can I just bring up something quick as well, Matisse? Sorry, Lawless, are you done? Sorry, bro. I just cut across you.
No, go for it. No, man. I'm done.
This stadium thing, man. I need to bring it up, Lawless, because the first time I've been to West Ham Stadium, right? Since the last time I went there was the actual Olympics 10 years ago, right? So obviously it was well different. That's got to be the worst stadium for away fans, bro. Like I've had real back seats at Wembley that were closer. Like there's like no, and it takes half hour to get to the ground. Once you get to Stratford, you're like walking for what feels like forever. Like how do you do that week in, week out, man? Like I know you got.
I haven't been in the away section, but I would still put Wolves as the worst away section.
Oh yeah, no, that's poor. Wolves is poor
in the Prem. Just how it's built out, but. Yeah, look, I'm near, but I'm by the corner flag. I'm very close to the pitch. Everyone stands and sings in my section. It's not a problem. I just don't like how the stadium is designed. It's an athletic stadium. It was not designed. That clown Sebco said when they said, "Oh, we should design this so it can be turned into a football ground." No, it's never going to be football. It's only going to be athletics. Like anyone gives two shits about athletics outside the Olympics. No one does. This was always going to be the issue. So all this crying about taxpayer this and that. Thanks, Sebco, because now we have what we have. And that is an athletic stadium that is converted to a football stadium. We're on temporary scaffold seating. That's where you were sitting. That's where I was sitting because it was supposed to be retractable on wheels, like these mechanisms that push the seats out. And when you want to go into athletics mode, you can pull it in. And it's just ridiculous. But now the seats have got to be torn out and put back together every time you want to do athletics, man. The stadium will always they're trying to fix it. I know they've got some I don't know how they're going to do it in the summer, but they're trying to redevelop the West Stand and make that closer and stuff. But boy, they've got to find a way because this stadium is just not it, man. It's just not fit for football. Like really, it's not conducive. I mean, look, I hate the Emirates as well, but at least it's built for football. But I just find it a soulless corporate type stadium, but it's still a football stadium in a way. But you know, you wanted that. You look at what Spurs got with their stadium. Like they built it right. I hate to say it. I hate to give them credit in that. But at least with how the stadium's built, you know, it's not just this kind of like long seating that goes out to the back. It's sort of built up. Yeah, man. The stadium and the seats. Why can't they make this? I hate this. It sounds minor, but make the seats claret, man. These white seats. Yeah.
A lot of complaints. There, Lawless.
Why are you side-eyeing me like that, Tobs?
I'm not side-eyeing you at all. I'm just listening. I'm listening. I've been to your stadium 3 times. I think 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. Luckily for me, I've seen Spurs win every single game when I've went. So I don't really have as many bad words as Potts or yourself, Lawless. But it is quite removed. Like even when the players in the away section, even when the what do you call it, the players come to celebrate, you're still quite like detached because it's so far away. But listen, as we said beforehand, beggars cannot be choosers. Yeah. West Ham have been given a 62,000 seater, brand spanking, modern, state of the art stadium. It's up to them. It's up to them to make these alterations on how to make the atmosphere better. Yeah, it's up to them.
What do you mean? So you went, all right. So say you rent your flat, yeah. Can you make alterations to your flat to make it more homely? No, you can't, because
yes, you can. Of course, you can.
What? No, you can't just be knocking down walls. And
I'm not asking you to knock down. I'm not asking you to knock down walls. I'm not asking you to knock down walls. Listen to what you just said there about the white seats. That's a quick fix. You're telling me that you can't change that. You're telling me you can't change that.
No. We could change that, but it's still not going to solve all of the issues I'm making.
I'm not saying it's going to solve all the issues, but what I'm saying is
it's not going to solve any issues. By the way,
what I'm saying is I'm hearing a lot of complaints about a ground that you pay basically fuck all for in comparison to other sides who've been blessed with new stadiums.
Yeah, but the thing is, Tobes, it's your fault. Well, not you specifically, but you and Leighton Orient, yeah, your clown clubs decided when we was going to buy the stadium, no, you can't do that. We got to block it. We got to stop this. We got to stop that. Like, we literally tried to buy it outright. Because of what about the legacy and what about this and that? Yeah, you all came up and blocked that. Then when we put forward the proposal to rent it, which was funny actually, which is ironic because you guys tried to buy the stadium. Then we put forward the proposal.
Thank God we didn't.
Yeah. But I think you probably only did it just to fuck with us, probably.
Imagine Tottenham and Stratford. Fuck it all.
Yeah, imagine, innit? The same team that complain about Arsenal being Woolwich. Yeah, imagine them in Stratford. Like, but then so then we had to rent it. We put the proposal and we said, okay, you don't want to buy it, we'll share it. And look, the taxpayer don't give two shits about athletics, so I don't know what they do. Just let us buy the stadium. Everyone's happy. Everyone's a winner. Obviously, for a discounted price because the taxpayer are losing money, so it actually benefits the taxpayer for us to buy it. So a little 50 mil or something, job done. We've already paid a few mils rent on that. But yeah, like Tobes, you can't say nothing. Look at Daniel Levy. Yeah, look at that guy. Look at Barry Hearn. Look at those two people. If you want to talk about why we got a free stadium and a good deal, I didn't ask for this either. I didn't ask for this as a fan.
You prefer to say,
yeah, I was comfortable there. I was happy. I was enjoying it. Literally easy to get to. You know what I mean? Good options around. No long walk. Good atmosphere. Just a proper football ground. You know, so. It's long, but who knows? When we own the stadium, hopefully we can do something to it to make it proper. But I don't really care about the away fans experience, to be honest, because I've been to enough. You know, look at Newcastle where they stick you up in the gods and all of that, where you're not connected. European teams stick you up in the back and you don't get connected. So I'm happy. Keep that. Change everything else. Keep the away section shit. Sorry, Pots, but.
Do you know what? It's funny because every time I think about your stadium, I always think, Stratford, really good connections, the Olympics, new station. And I remember just how far away from the station it actually is, because I did one film in pre-record there. It's awful. Like
Pudding Mill Lane is the best station to go to be honest. That's the closest station. That's not cheap.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Pudding Mill Lane is the one on the DLR. But yeah, it is long. Like I said, I get there and I go, it's fucking hell, man. It's 2:00 game. I better start. I better leave. You know what I mean? I got to go West Ham, change, get there, do the walk and all of that business. It is long, you know, but boy, I'm glad.
Meanwhile, Tottenham just got a brand spanking new station next to their ground.
62K stadium. Woe is you.
Well, you know, all I'm saying is we'll see. We're gonna get to 66 anyway next season. Biggest stadium in London. You know. Let's see if it's hosting Champions League football as well. Let's see, because that will really hurt Toby, not the stadium capacity.
It won't be. You're gonna be. You're not gonna. It won't be.
Are you about to say it here before the game that they're not gonna go through against Frankfurt? Are you gonna jinx it?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying they're not gonna win it. They're not gonna win the competition. They could beat Frankfurt, but it's a tough task. But they won away to Lyon 3-0. So let's see. I prefer not to speak right now. On Friday, I'll speak. If I speak right now, I'll be in big trouble. So,
You will be in big trouble, mate. You will be in big trouble. Because I want to, you know what? I want you to speak, because what I want to do is when we win it, I want this like compilation. I want to make a Tobs compilation of all the shows it's going to be like, they're not going to beat Sevilla, they're not going to beat Lyon, they're not going to beat Frankfurt.
And every single time they just do it.
Oh, that'd be great. I'll put like Rocky music to it and everything. Like, oh, it'd be so good, man.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Mad. Well, let's finalize with Tottenham. Unfortunately, they did win their game. So now there's plenty of chess. Harry Kane's back, so I'm sure Coach Cam's gonna love that.
It was shocking though. So
but do you know what? He got his goal, and Harry Kane's been playing well, setting up others for chances, and not really getting the plaudits at times. So I think it's better that he gets his.
Yeah, Cams will be happy. Cams will be happy.
They rest players, Leicester, because they've got a European semi-final.
They did rest players. Yep, they did. No Vardy, no Tielemans, no Dewsbury Hall, no Maddison, no Fofana, no Evans, no Pereira. And they rested it. They won that first.
They won that.
They've got a deep squad though. Leicester. I can't lie. They've got a really deep squad. Like if they had all their players fit, maybe they could have had a different season this year, but they've been hit with a raft of. Obviously, no one has all their players fit. It's football. Injuries are part and parcel, but the amount of injuries that they've had in the last 2 years have been ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, no, I expected nothing but a win. I said it on the Big Six on Friday. I've been saying it to my friends all week. Even if Leicester played their strongest team at home off the back of 2 poor results, there had to be a reaction. So we were always going to win this game for me. Didn't really care about the performance. All I cared about was winning, and we won. I had the 3-1 prediction spot on as well. I knew they were going to rest players because they got the European competition in mind. So I didn't see anything but a Tottenham win here, and I'm happy we won. We didn't play well, I'll be real. We didn't really play that well, but when Kulusevski came on in the second half, the performance went from like a 40% to a 60-65%. Like Kulusevski is a unbelievable player. Like
he's a baller, man.
He literally came on and just ruined Luke Thomas's afternoon. Like just rinsed him every single time, rinsed him. And Son on 19 Premier League goals. Listen, the debate about where is he world class, is he this, is he that? Like, I'm not gonna do it anymore. Like, we know what we know with Son, yeah. But one thing I will say about Son, no matter how bad he's playing, no matter how inconsistent he is in his in-game performances, he's an absolute deadly striker. Like I think for me, he's top 3 finishers in the Premier League, easy for me. Like, if you look at
the way he shoots with both feet.
If you look at his conversion rate since his time at Spurs, if you look at his XG in comparison to the amount of goals he gets, if you look at his ability to finish, like the second goal he scored yesterday will get the plaudits because obviously it's on his left foot outside the box, vintage curler. He's done that a couple times for Spurs, to be honest. But it's the first goal. Kulusevski plays a pass into him, and he has the awareness to take the ball on a swivel and place it where he knows that the Leicester players won't get it and the goalkeeper won't get it. Like he's an elite finisher. He's a truly elite finisher, and it's a testament to how good he is that he's actually been poor for a lot of matches we've played this season, and he's one goal away from 20 Premier League goals. Yeah. And this is the same man that Lawless wanted to put 4 hours ahead of a couple weeks ago. Just because I said that Son actually hasn't played well in a lot of games, which is true. He hasn't played well in a lot of our Premier League games this season. But the one thing he's done from start to finish is he's always scored. He's always scored.
But let me just. I can't let you just do this and
call him purple patch all you want.
I know what you're gonna say, Lawless. You're gonna say at the time Fornals was playing better.
But what I'm saying is, when we made this, he said to me, let's do this combined 11 on form. I said, okay.
I said form throughout the season. I said form throughout Matisse. I said form throughout the season, and then he said okay, and then I said Son hasn't played well by his standards. But why does that make you think that Fornals has played better than Son? What level do you think that Fornals is playing at this season?
I'm just saying, by your own words.
Yeah, he's not been. It's not by my own words. It's eyes. We all watch it. Dan Potts will say the same, and Matisse will say the same. They've watched a lot of Spurs this season, even in games where Son has scored, and he's not played well. That's just a fact.
All right, well, that's what I'm saying. He's not been in good form.
Yeah, but
I'm still taking Son.
what made you think that you could even suggest to put Fornals ahead of him?
Because you was the one who
Disrespect.
said that he's not. All I'm saying is, look, by law, yeah.
I think people have been hearing you speak on Son this season, Toby, and thinking, "Oh, Son's really not having a great season."
No, but Matisse, I always caveat it. I always caveat it. Yeah, Son hasn't played all this season, but he still maintained his scoring. He still maintained his scoring.
Okay, but
he has. And Son, I've always rated. Listen, I don't like him. Obviously, I don't like Harry Kane either. But I've always rated Son. To be fair, do you know what though?
All their fans have been shitting on him. Yeah, all their fans were shitting on him at the time when we played Spurs, including bloody typical Tobs.
That's your new name, by the way, Toby. Typical.
No one. It's not sitting on Son to say that he's not playing well. It's just stating a fact. It's like Harry Kane. Harry Kane went missing for half a season, and we scolded him because he was playing shit. What do you want us to say?
We're making a form 11. Let's put the form players in. That's all I'm saying.
But Fornals has not had better form than Son this season. That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. Guys, Potts and Matisse. At what point this season can you say that you felt Fornals has been playing better football than Son? Give me any point this season.
No, but I'm just saying for now.
It never crossed my mind. I'm not going to lie to you.
Any point this season where you felt Fornals is playing better.
These are not two players I even think to compare.
Exactly.
Thank you, Matisse. Do you not think it's
I've never heard of Fornals versus Son comparison. Only you two could find this comparison.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's crazy.
Can I just bring up a player? I didn't watch Tottenham, obviously. I watched the match of the day, and I don't normally do this because I hate bigging it up.
I've been telling you about him. Go on. I know what you're gonna say.
No.
Say it.
All right. Oh, it is. Yeah. No. I know you say it. I thought he was a monster at the back, man. Romero.
Yeah.
I thought he was a monster.
Hook it up. Matisse, how long have I been singing this guy's praises?
You've been saying it for a while.
From day one.
When Saeed comes back,
incredible.
When Saeed comes back, it's a long day for him as well because.
But listen, when to be in my defense, I never slated him and thought he was shocking. But I thought he was great. And listen, I only saw the highlights, so I didn't see the game, Tobes. But I think this guy is quality. I think he could be wicked. So I think he deserves credit yesterday. Listen, Son's goal was nuts, by the way. That second goal, that was just
mental.
But we've seen him do that. Do you know what I mean? We've seen him do that. With Romero, that performance for me was a standout one. And I know it's only Leicester and they made changes, but you have to big up the performance. I thought he was class. And he has done that a couple of times this season. And I know that you bigged him up, Toby. He was injured for the first few months of the season. But then obviously he came into
November. Yeah, November through to January. He didn't play.
But I've been guilty of saying Kane and Son, and then I added Bentancur and Kulusevski to it in January. But I think this guy deserves to be put in that bracket now. Like, he looks like a decent centre half, one that's looked like he could take you forward. And if he puts in performances like that, then you're going to be happy. So there we go. You know
what's mad as well. Yeah, since he's come back from injury, I've lost count of those performances. I said the same thing to Lawless against West Ham, and he was downplaying it because West Ham would just come back from Europe. Romero's had countless performances like that since he's come back. Against Man City, against West Ham, against Newcastle, against Aston Villa. He's had, like, against Brighton, the FA Cup game, not the league game. I've genuinely lost count of how many performances Romero's put for us like that since he's come back from injury. But of course, opposition fans, they'll look at the games where he's not played that well, i.e. Burnley and stuff like that, and United, and start talking rubbish on him. The guy's only just turned 24 years old. He's the best. Obviously, it's slim pickings. Of course, it's slim pickings, but he's the best defender we've had at this club since Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen. He's by a distance, and the fact
that's
that
not hard.
That's what I said. It's slim pickings. But the fact that we had a free run at him after the season he had for Atalanta last year, and then to top it up with the Copa America campaign where he literally shackled Brazil's attack. It's a fantastic signing for Spurs, and it's a signing.
How much was he, Tobes, as well? How much was he?
So we signed him initially on a loan with an obligation to buy. So all in, it will be around £48 million, which is good value for business, in my opinion.
You think he's be better than you thinking that's a better signing than Ben White? Because I remember you saying at the start you thought it was.
Definitely. Yeah. If we're talking value for money, definitely. I think you overpaid for Ben White, and listen, Ben, I've said it to you as well in private conversations and in public. I think Ben White has been really good for Arsenal. He shocked me with the standard of defending that I've seen, because whereas with Ben White, I thought he was more about his underball qualities. I think he's shown me that he can really defend. He's a good signing. But for me, I think when you watch the best game from Ben White versus the best game from Romero, I'm not even going to argue. I think it's clear to see that Romero's.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue either. I said to you that the jury's still out on Ben White with me, and I've been really impressed with this guy, man. I really have. And I didn't see him much at Atlanta, but when you signed him, I thought, yeah, that's going to be a signing people are going to talk about because of how good he had been. Ben White, for me, makes some mistakes and errors still, and I know he's going to because he's young. Romero, I have seen some mistakes as well from, but I look at the kind of attributes, and I think that this Romero guy could be wicked. So yeah, I'm happy to concede that right now. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think with Romero, not many, like even me myself, I actually watched Serie A, but I didn't even watch a lot of Romero at Atalanta unless it was their Champions League performances and when they were playing some of the big sides. But when you just did your research on the guy, like doing my research on him last summer, like the guy got Serie A Defender of the Year, Argentina's best defender as well, like. And you're just reading all the qualities that he's good at, and you're just like, wow, like if Spurs can pull this one off, this actually looks on paper like it's going to be a really good signing. But boy, obviously Dan Lawless, he's been a bit quiet. We did a combined 11. He was saying a lot of things about Kurt Zouma.
This combined 11 really has caused problems, hasn't it?
We're saying a lot of things about Kurt Zouma, and I let it
Dawson and Zouma get in ahead of him
because Zouma was in there.
Zuma was in there. I think Zuma deserves to be in there. And I said it. Romero, he's played what, like 20? He's missed. I think what? Let me see how many games he's played this season.
Did Dawson not get in, Lawless, ahead of Romero?
He should have at the time. It was on form, innit? It was on form. This is what Tobes don't understand. He's Tobes is arguing all the things they've done since this time by the 11. Why they should have had more players in the 11.
Okay, Romero's been back since January. Okay, cool. But it's fine. It's fine. It's cool anyway. As I said, those who don't hear must feel. Simple.
Simple. All right, well, to round up, we're going to...
the season will win Europa League.
Yeah? You're going to win it, yeah? You saying that, yeah? All right, cool.
You don't believe, man.
Lawless has said it.
Yeah? All right, cool.
Lawless has said it. To be fair to Lawless, he's already said it a few times. He reckons they're going to win it. So he's standing by his team, man.
He's standing by his team. And before we do
why
round
you got to cut us off like that, Matisse? Why have you got to... Come on, man.
What?
Man.
Sorry. It's just, I mean, you're not in the picture. Like I said, you don't really care. Do you know what I mean?
I still want to get that top 6. I still want 6.
Hard to get you in. Like, if you actually look at it, I'm not even taking the piss here. It's not easy to get you in. Let me see if I can.
Control minus.
There you go. Okay. All right. We'll get Wolves in as well. That's the current table at the moment. I'm not going to ask you guys who you think is going to make it again, because I think I asked you this last week. I'm not going to ask you every single week. But Tottenham do have Liverpool next, which is... I mean, Toby, do you give yourselves any chance? I know you said before on the Big Six, I think you said you could sneak a draw, but every single time we keep looking at Liverpool, they just keep looking more. I mean, for me, that result against Newcastle was very impressive because it was a 12:30 kickoff. They just played midweek. And Newcastle are in ridiculous form, and they really should have won it by more. They missed a few chances, but they just don't seem like they
hammered them. Should have hammered them. Listen, it's looking like Mission Impossible, but bro, Arsenal had 3 difficult games to play, knowing that they needed to win all 3, and they've won it. So they've set the gauntlet, like they've set the standard. You need to match that standard if you want to get into the Champions League, and it's what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to go to Liverpool's ground and get something. We have to try and get something. If we don't get something, then it's going to make top 4 all the more difficult. I'm not going to give up on top 4 just yet. I think even if the expected result against Liverpool happens, which is a loss, I'm still leaving everything onto that North London derby, because if we beat Arsenal, when we beat Arsenal that North London derby, let's say if we're 5 points behind and we cut the gap to 2 points, a 2-point gap heading into the final 2 games of the season, it's still possible we can get top 4. So
until the difference between 1 loss and 1 win, like if Arsenal lose and Spurs win, then you get top 4 in that last game.
The goal difference is stronger as well.
Exactly. So unless Arsenal can come out of our ground without a loss, and they maintain like a 3 or 4 point buffer, then I'm still going to believe that we can get this, man. So yeah, I'm still sticking with Spurs, but it's it's a fucking difficult challenge right now. So yeah, let's go.
Mad. And Pottsboro, what about you? I mean, you got Leeds next, but you're in the ascendancy, you're in the driving seat. You think you'll be able to wrap this up, or still worries about?
I think
about
it's
the Leeds game?
Yeah, I'm worried about every game, mate, because this is the Premier League. But I feel like we can get the job done at the Emirates against Leeds. Although I know it sounds nuts saying this, I actually quite enjoyed their performance against City. I know City battered them, but they showed fight. They had some glimpses. They played quite well, in my opinion. City can do that to any team, as we've seen this season. But I do think that we'll have enough for them. And I am praying that Liverpool beat Spurs so that we can then beat Tottenham and wrap it up and secure fourth at their ground for the first time we go there. That would be amazing. So yeah, let's stay optimistic and see what happens.
He doesn't even believe that last part. He doesn't even believe it.
Mad.
Listen, it's gonna be tough, Matisse. It's gonna be tough for Spurs. It's gonna be tough for Arsenal because this is the Premier League. But I do feel this weekend coming up is the one that I think is massive. People are talking about Newcastle away. People are talking about Everton, whether they're safe or not by the time Arsenal play them. People are talking about Spurs, the North London derby. For me, Liverpool Spurs is massive, and so is Arsenal Leeds.
It is, and I mean West Ham. They just need that 3 points, man. Because Man United, I think Man United, they look like they ain't gonna win another game this season the way they're going on. So West Ham really just needs to just after Frankfurt,
Norwich next.
Yeah.
If listen, mate, if we don't get 3 points against Norwich, mate. Well, if we beat Frankfurt, I probably won't give a shit. But we gotta beat Norwich, man. We have to beat Norwich. And if we beat Norwich and they lose their game, we're sixth on goal difference. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like you said, Man United just look absolutely shocking at the moment.
I'm sorry we didn't beat them for you.
Yeah. You didn't beat a lot of people I wanted you to beat. Everton, Arsenal. Like, geez, but just what a letdown Chelsea have been for me this season. And then you took 3 points off us.
And then we took 3 points off you, yeah.
But yeah, so I think Man United is definitely doable. I think it's achievable that we could get that 6th place. Like, beat Norwich. You know what I mean? And we've got, I think Brighton and I don't know who the other game is. So, but Frankfurt is everything, man. We have to go all out in that game. We have to leave it all on the line. They're playing today, I believe, Frankfurt. So hopefully they've got some of their heavy hitters playing. They get tired, maybe a little knock or something, Fingers crossed. We'll see, man.
That's a joke that they're playing today, by the way.
It's not good for them. It's not good for their schedule, is it?
That's ridiculous. Like, why are they playing today? That's
Monday. So strange. Monday they got to play on Thursday.
Strange. And they're away to Leverkusen as well. Like, that's not an easy game. But listen, their season.
Lawless is just smiling right now. He couldn't give a shit.
Yeah,
I can see them resting players. Listen, there's how many games left? So they got 3 more league games left. Yeah, and they're 10th.
They're currently 10th. Nothing. They're not playing for nothing.
Yeah, they're 12 points behind sixth place, which is the European spot. There is no chance they're going to play their strongest side. There's no way. They're
but
into the Europa League for sure.
Come on, man.
You know it. I know it. They're going to. You'd be very.
Are they going to want to lose 5-0? What are their fans going to do?
Who gives? Who cares? This is an opportunity for an all-German final, literally against RB Leipzig. They're not gonna care. They're not gonna. You won't see a single player you recognise in that team.
Honestly,
no chance. Hopefully,
and if they do play a strong team, then they're crazy. They've literally got nothing.
What about all the fans that maybe travel to the game? They don't want to let them down.
What would you do? What would you do, Lawless? What would you do?
If I was German, a German manager of the team, I would be like, listen, in this country, we put fans first. Those fans that want to pay their tickets to come and see, we'll put on the best performance we can. We're going to play all our strongest players just for this. We've got to think of today. We're going to put them all out. We're going to tell them go in 100% on challenges. We're going to be running constantly for 90 minutes because we have to do it for the fans. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
If it was
and
me,
West
so I
Ham do
would
the complete opposite in all
because it's different
pictures.
culture in this. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
So funny.
Oh
This
my
guy's funny.
days. Well, there you have it, people. Listen, I can't wait for the season to end, man. I'm sick of this shit. I got Big Six later. I don't know what's coming for that. I'm sure Toby's gonna have.
Yeah, you do.
I can't be asked, man. I literally cannot be bothered anymore. I just want the season to end. I'm not even
This is
looking forward to
gonna
the
be
FA Cup
fantastic.
final anymore because I just think Liverpool are probably gonna smoke us anyway. So
Steve is gonna press you like a pancake tonight. Jesus Christ, you're free.
will I even face the camera? That's what you should be asking.
You better. You fucking better. We'll draw you
Probably
out.
won't.
So.
I'll probably turn around and just won't.
No,
even face
you
the camera.
will. We'll draw you
Just
out.
turn it off. Turn the camera off, Matisse, innit?
Don't be too sure. I might put a dummy in my replacement. Toby, tap in Tobs. Let them know where to find you. Typical Tobs.
Tap in Tobs on all platforms, man. On all platforms, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter. Yeah, just keep on liking, keep on subscribing, all that good stuff. I'm still not on 8K yet. I'm like 120 away from 8K, so or 180, something stupid like that. So yeah, if you can help me, help me.
There you go. And Lawless, let them know where to find you, bro. Pleasure. Actually, pleasure.
Yeah. At the Lawless, Dan Lawless WHF TV on Instagram. Yeah, I'm trying to use that more. At the moment, I'm just sharing the shit people tag me into my story, but I will try and use it more. And West Ham Fan TV on all platforms. We'll be doing got a couple of lads going out to Frankfurt on Thursday. We'll also be doing a watch along for that game, for that huge game Thursday. So join
Massive.
us. Massive. Almost as massive as West Ham are.
massive game. I'm going to be watching that as well. I'm going to be watching that game. I'm very excited, actually. I'm excited for everybody else's games in Europe this week, but my teams. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm also looking forward to North London Derby as well in a few weeks as well. Potts, let them know where to find you, bro. Pleasure.
Cheers, man. Yeah, at Dan Arsenal 87 on all social media platforms. If you do want to watch more of my content, you'll see me on AFTV and also on Lee Judges TV, where me and him run the channel together. We're on 28k now, so if you could like and subscribe and get us towards 30, that would be amazing. But thanks for having me on, as always. Always a pleasure talking to you, boys.
Pleasure, absolute pleasure for me, people. Whether the review's gone out or not at this point, God knows. Like I said, I've done one every single game this season. At this point, the team have actually killed me. They really have. They've put me firmly in the mud. They've put me on a platter for Big Steve on Big Six. I'm sure yes. Toby's gonna be, tag team me in under the rope. Yeah.
Oh, trust me, you're dead tonight. You're dead tonight. So.
Just remember, Toes, what goes around comes around, and if
blah yada yada.
Toby doesn't think like that.
Coming back to
you got Europa League to prepare for, so just prepare for your Europa League, your European exploits. It's fine, nothing to do with you. Just stay over there, right?
I'm just saying, just the end of the season.
I'm telling you, if West Ham get Champions League football, boy, Lord, this is gonna be.
And you miss out. Oh.
Well, not everybody here can be in it. That's the key here. Not everybody sitting on this panel will be on Champions League football next season. Somebody here is not going to be very happy. Anyway.
I'm going to have to talk to Turkish, man, to come on Big Six again end of season if we get that, just so we can all just destroy Tobes.
There you have it. People, make sure you subscribe. Smash up the icons as always. I'll see you in a bit. Big up in a bit, people. Peace.